If you're new here, we're currently on the adventure of a lifetime to spend our summer in Alaska. In the last 3 months, we've taken our truck camper from the southern tip of Baja California, Mexico, through the western part of the good old US of A, all the way out to Vancouver Island, before heading back to the Canadian mainland to where today, we're picking you up in central British Columbia. Wild solitude and endless isolation through remote wilderness and a lack of services. This sentence is a perfect description of British Columbia's Highway 37, better known as the Cassiar Highway. We are officially on the Cassiar Highway. If you know nothing about the Cassiar Highway, neither do we. But it is one of the two predominant roads that you would take in order to get to Alaska for the summer. It is either this one or the Alaska Highway. And the Cassiar Highway, we're guessing, is going to be a whole lot of British Columbian beauty. We've got a camp spot picked out on a lake, courtesy of iOverlander, and we are 25 minutes away from our camp spot destination, and hopefully it's a banger. Welcome to Kitawanga, British Columbia. Here the pavement narrows and the traffic thins. Towering spruce and lodgepole pine trees press in from both sides like nature drawing a curtain behind you. Within minutes, it feels like you've crossed an invisible line, leaving behind the convenience of modern travel and entering a rugged, unknown landscape fabled for its harsh conditions that will push us and our rig to the absolute max. Welcome to our first truly spectacular Canadian camp spot. This one is a gorgeous one. We're here at what is also intended to be a boat ramp for Kitawanga Lake. This spot is going to make for an excellent home for us for the next couple days. We have pushed through a ton of miles, probably close to 800, maybe 1,000 miles over the last 3 days, and we are due for taking a break from driving. We wanted to make sure that we felt like we had made some sort of progress towards Alaska before getting comfortable, so we knocked out a whole bunch of miles through lower BC, which is beautiful, but it's kind of farm country, a little flat. It would remind you of many places in the US, but areas like this, we had to get up onto the Cassiar Highway in order to get these miraculous mountain lake views. First order of business is to find some firewood so we can stay warm and toasty when it gets a little bit colder out. The sun, though, is not set to go down until 8:59 today, and so that means if it stays sunny, which is questionable every day here in BC, it should be warm and toasty. Marissa made me a nice little vegetable medley here with chickpeas, cucumbers, tomato, red onion, red wine vinaigrette, and everything but the bagel seasoning. And it's super yummy. We stole this kind of idea from a person we met in Florida last year, Avery. She made it for us, and we bought chickpeas probably shortly thereafter. I don't know if we ever used them since until now. We've had this fire ripping for quite a while now, and the sun came back out, so much so that we're actually needing to get away from the warmth. So just come on down by the lake. Marissa was just admiring the number of golf balls that have been kicked in the water by folks. This water is super clear, and the view is just spectacular. We've got maybe a car that goes by on the main road that's approximately half a mile from here, maybe a quarter of a mile every half hour, and you barely hear it. We were inspired by all the golf balls to go on a golf ball hunt, but the water probably very recently defrosted, because some lakes we drove by today all had ice still on them. So it's not warm, but we thought it would be kind of a cute novelty to see how many golf balls we can collect from the water before freezing. This is also the closest you're gonna get us to doing a polar plunge or any kind of a cold plunge, because both of us are big ol' sissies when it comes to cold water. We're tolerating it now, but that's because it is momentary and not full body. Oh, that's cold. I can't believe Marissa's in this long. I can't believe it. Oh my God, I need a break. Wow. That water has got to be 40s to low 50s at best. This is my little brute who hates cold water, but is doing a great job, better than me. I know, one right there. I'll just point at him. You can get him. One right there. One over here. And I need another break. I can't do it. Oh my goodness. That's freezing, huh? The queen of golf balls found way more than I did. We've got a total of 32 golf balls in just a few short seconds. We've decided that the plan is we're going to save these golf balls and mail them to Marissa's dad, who golfs and could certainly use some balls that are crappy enough that you don't care where they go. But he'll really enjoy the novelty of the fact that they're from a lake in British Columbia and we scavenge them ourselves. And we're going to try and go back and get more. The other funny part about these golf balls is the fact that we collected them without going any deeper than our knees. And you're sitting up when you're shooting your golf balls from this beach by a solid 5 foot. So that means that 32 golf balls only made it less than 15 yards into the lake. So that's how bad whoever it was that was golfing here is as a golfer. Sometimes you don't have the camera out at the right moment, but you wish you did. Marissa and I were both just sitting here like talking openly about how amazing this spot is and how fortunate we are that like we made the decisive choice to live this lifestyle so that we can come to places that even if you had infinite amount of money, it doesn't mean that you can just own a house on this lake. Like there's no houses on this lake. It's only attainable if you want to come out here via tent or RV. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, very special.
We are truly appreciating the beauty that we have here in BC, and we're enjoying every moment. And this lake is exactly what we were looking for after a straight, 20 hours of driving that we just underwent.
It is pretty amazing here. I know I keep reiterating, but I just don't want it to be, I don't want it to be taken for granted, right? Like, this is just spectacular. I've been cleaning up our camp spot, making sure we look like good upstanding people in case somebody does pull down this campground spot. We've only had one visitor all day. And we got little hazy boy here. Go back, go back. He doesn't try and run out, but you never know. He loves the smell of fresh air. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna do a pork tenderloin that I'm gonna start marinating in some teriyaki soy sauce and garlic paste.
So what you want to do? You want to curl my hair? Is it like yarn?
Coming inside and cooking dinner despite the fact that it's still sunlight out at 8:20 is definitely the right choice, because the mosquitoes are way more prevalent. They are pterodactyls, blood-sucking, evil entities. And Marissa is their favorite flavor. So we'll be doing a whole lot of this when it comes to nighttime. Hiding inside, cooking, hanging out, enjoying the beautiful scenery from indoors. Good news is the pork tenderloin is almost done. We got a big bowl of white rice to go with it. And because I've been cooking, there is not a vegetable to be found. You saw the Arizona-Utah video. I self-confessed to my addiction to this Japanese barbecue sauce. And I'll admit, and maybe someone else won't, but they like it too. Not as much as I do, but she likes it. The next day was an admin day, as we call it. I spent the morning editing, invoicing customers, and doing the boring things required to keep the wheels turning for our eclectic lifestyle. If you're new here, Marissa and I own a couple of Airbnbs ourselves on the east coast of the lower 48, and we manage a handful of other people's Airbnbs in the same areas. In addition to that, we also make YouTube videos and will be working seasonal jobs while we're in Alaska this summer. The rest of the day was spent in a very similar manner to the day before. I wanted to utilize the firewood I had already cut up, so I made a fire using this very unique fire ring that was originally a wheel from a truck. Taking 48 hours off of driving and being able to enjoy these views at our first beautiful lakefront camp spot in BC is exactly what the doctor ordered. Good morning. It is day 3 of being on the Cassiar Highway, and we are about to get going here. Make a couple hours of progress further north. A nice chilly 28 degrees out this morning waking up. Truck is high idling its life away in order to warm up for us. And we're hopeful that today brings another beautiful camp spot like this one. Supposed to be 2 hours and 14 minutes worth of progress up the Cassiar Highway. We've got another lake spot that we're hoping to camp at, and the only things we kind of need are showers and laundry, but that's pretty unlikely to happen today given the remoteness of where we are.
Travel up to Alaska. It gives you mile by mile or kilometer by kilometer distance from point A to point B along the whole Alaska Highway and Cassiar Highway and all the highways in between.
The nice part about the book is it's extremely detailed in terms of what you'll see. The flaw to the book is that it doesn't really rank anything in terms of a priority of greatness. You don't really know, like, is this going to be an awesome thing? Is this going to just be an average thing? It would be kind of nice to have like a bit of an opinion behind the different things that are along the way. So another nice part about that book is it tells you where all your different fuel stops are, and we are making sure to be filling up almost every opportunity. How many fuel stops out there have this kind of scenery in the background? I don't know if you can see the mountains, but they're gorgeous. And this building is actually super unique. A log cabin style building going on here. We got about an hour more of our drive until we get to our next camp spot. What I've realized on this drive along the Cassiar Highway is that the experience isn't so much about the destination. There's no cool town with hip breweries or delicious restaurants that you can find yourself planning your trip around. On the Cassiar Highway, you're here for the amazing scenery, the picturesque landscapes of snow-covered mountains and crystal clear rivers. Driving is where the magic really happens. Another beautiful spot, courtesy of beautiful British Columbia. This is a rest area that we are commandeering. I kind of parked like an a-hole, but no one else is going to be here. In the probably 3-hour drive we had today, we were passed by only 4 vehicles on the whole 3-hour drive. So very, very remote where we are at this point. Up here in northern BC, probably in another day or so drive we'll be in the Yukon. So I had told you guys a few weeks ago during the 12-volt air conditioning conversion video about how I now have a pump that allows me to transfer water from our 6-gallon jerry can into our camper. But I also mentioned how you can pump water directly from a big beautiful lake like this one through our clear source water filtration system and up into our camper with the power of that same pump. So that is a Seaflow 3.3 gallon 115 volt water pump that I got from eTrailer.com, who happens to be the sponsor of this segment of the video. And so I want to take a moment to walk you guys through exactly how I'm going to pump water from this lake through a filter and into our camper. So here is our big frozen water supply, and here is our Seaflow water pump, which is 115 volts. I have our extension cord run out here, and then I have it going through our hose and up to our clear source water filtration system that you can also find on eTrailer.com. All right, so let's plug this bad boy in, and I'll show you exactly how easy this is to make it work. So I suspended the water inlet line through the ice above the ground. It's going to pump through the immediate filter that is on the Seaflow pump, and then it's going to go up through this hose and over to our water filtration system. The Clear Source Ultra RV water filtration system has 3 different filters in it, which is what makes this possible to pull from a lake and drink out of your camper's tanks. You can see here, this is the water flowing in to our first set of filters. Then you have a second filter and a third one before it comes out the side, where I have some PEX tubing and a quick connect to another hose leading up to our camper. Being able to do something like this is something that I've dreamed of for a little while. I just have kind of a desire to be as capable of solidarity and the ability to survive on your own as much as possible when we're out here, because where we're at in British Columbia is incredibly remote. There has not been a water opportunity on the Cassiar Highway that doesn't come from here. So I'm really, really glad to have this pump that I got from eTrailer.com, to have the Clear Source water filtration system, so that way we can keep on drinking water, take some hot showers, because we both really need them. And so if you want to support the Cummins Camper YouTube channel without having to pay any kind of money beyond the cost of the product you would purchase, be sure to check out the eTrailer link in the description below. It helps us out a ton to further this relationship with eTrailer And we want you guys to be getting the absolute best products at the best price and the best service, and that all comes at eTrailer.com. And if you're really new around here, just for some FYI on our water configuration inside the camper, we have a factory 42-gallon freshwater tank, and then we did a composting toilet conversion in there. So that allowed us to get rid of the black tank and sub in a 25-gallon freshwater tank. So we carry 67 gallons of fresh water in addition to the 5 or 7 gallons that's in the water heater. So call it 72 gallons of water. And it almost feels arbitrary to fill up that 6-gallon jerry can that you guys have seen me use before, knowing that I have now the ability to fill up at any one of these beautiful lakefront water resources, especially knowing it's beautifully clear here in Canada and unlikely to be contaminated. Like for example, let's go check the initial strainer on the pump before I pack all this stuff up. Now that our water tanks are full again, you can see there are no contaminants, not a leaf, not really any kind of crap inside of the bottom of that first filter. So pretty cool little achievement for me there, guys. Pretty cool little achievement. Filled up purified water from a lake, first time. Done a lot of weird water fill-ups in my life, but this might be the best one yet. As you can imagine, in the land of logging, we've had no shortage of firewood. We just show up at a site and walk around and find trees that are dead and on the ground and process them with my little cute Ryobi chainsaw. So Marissa just said, do you think that the ice would be able to support your weight if you walked out there? And she goes, will you do it? Because my answer was yes to both questions. And so I went to go put my Crocs into four-wheel drive, and I broke the straps. That's very sad, given the proximity to an Amazon drop box that we are right now, which is nowhere in any reasonable probability of it, but let's see if I can stand on this ice or not. Yep, thick enough. Didn't have to go very far.
But now you should.
No, because that would be unsafe. Right here is safe. That's why I agreed to this proposition. The worst part is that I lost all style points with my very stylish Crocs. Whoa. If you're into ice baths, it's a place for you. It's not a place for me. I have not ate anything all day, so Marissa's taking good care of me, and she made me a delicious steak sandwich here. Got Grillo's pickles, which are the greatest pickles of all time. And then I got my little floofy buddy hanging out with me while we're staring at this beautiful ice-covered lake, these massive mountains in the background. It's so incredibly clear here today that this view is just breathtaking. Bunch of onions on there. My favorite Japanese mayo. What is there to be sad about? Not this guy. Good morning. Super nice night's sleep last night. It was low temperatures of 25 degrees, so very chilly. I'm glad I drained out my water filters after filling up from the lake yesterday, because the edges of the lake are frozen solid again. Last night we did pretty much what we always do, and that's why I don't film it for you guys. We just kind of hang out and watch TV. I might do work on my laptop, but we're not very entertaining at night. We're like the Energizer Bunny. We kind of do everything the beginning of the day when we got 100%, and then as the day goes on, it's just like less and less and less and less and less. So this morning, we're gonna get back in the truck. I'm going to the wrong door. And head further north, because we just need to kind of keep making progress. Tomorrow's weather is supposed to be crap. So the plan is to find a spot, hunker down for 48 hours, and that way I don't have to drive in the rain and sleet and snow. 28 degrees out right now, according to the truck's dash. Oof. Cold starts. Definitely cold starts. But this truck starts up great, even with me removing the factory grid heater and putting in an aftermarket one. Never struggles. Can't say that about my old 7.3 I used to have. All right, so we will pick you up on the next video. Be sure to like, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're not checking out our Patreon yet, be sure to do so at The Cummins Camper on patreon.com. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.